Thank you, Grand Marshal Ramirez-Berg. Would you all please be seated? I'm delighted, really delighted, to welcome all of you to the Frank Erwin Center at the University of Texas at Austin for the Moody College of Communication Fall 2017 graduation ceremony. On behalf of the faculty, the staff, our students, administrators, and alumni of our great college, we are thrilled that you can all join us here today for this joyous occasion. Austin, as you know, is the live music capital of the world, and one of the things that makes today's ceremony so special and that enlivens it is the live music we get to hear from the University of Texas Longhorn Commencement Brass. Let's thank them for their inspiring music today. I also wish to recognize our student banner carriers who assisted in our graduation processional. Alejandra Martinez is a journalism major from Houston. She studied abroad in Spain, interned with NPR Latino USA, Telemundo Houston KTMD, and with our own 90.5 FM KUT station. She's also participated in the Next Generation radio program through NPR, and she is a managing editor for Orange Magazine. Let's give her a big hand. Miguel Valerino is a radio, television, and film major from Caracas, Venezuela. His interests include producing and production design. He's interned with the Austin Film Festival, volunteered with South by Southwest, and his work as producer has been awarded with grants from the Austin Film Society. Let's give Miguel a big round of applause. And Corey Martinez is a public relations major from Grand Prairie, Texas. Corey's currently a social media intern for the Media Relations and Digital Newsroom within the University of Texas at Austin's University Communications team. So let's all give them, all three of them, a round of applause for their special role in today's ceremony. Thank you so much. It's now my honor to formally introduce many of the special people here today, starting with our faculty marshals. Please stand and remain standing when your name is read, and please hold your applause until all the names have been shared. Professors Julie Campbell and Lisa Bador of the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders. Professors Lisa DeBias and Angeline Scheinbaum of the Stan Richards School of Advertising and Public Relations. Professors Donna DeCesare and Robert Quigley of the School of Journalism. Professors Renee Daly and recently engaged Jeffrey Treem of the Department of Communication Studies. And Professors Andrew Shea and Paul Steckler of the Department of Radio, Television, Film. Let's give our marshals a big round of applause. Thank you very much. You may be seated. And of the many things that make Moody College so special, really one of the most important things, or perhaps the most important thing, is our faculty, who truly are the best of the best. So I now ask all of the members of our faculty to stand and be recognized. We thank you all for coming today to help celebrate our talented graduates. Thank you, faculty. I'm also honored to acknowledge our advising and support staff in the Student Advising Office in Moody College. These wonderful people play an indispensable role in the lives of our students during their time on campus, and we're especially indebted to them today for the planning and coordinating of today's ceremony. So if you're a member of our, and they're usually in the back, in the middle, if you're a member of our student advising team, please be recognized for all you've done today and all you do every day for our students. Thank you so much. On the stage behind me are some key leaders I'd like to introduce from our academic and student affairs teams. So please stand when your name is read, and please remain standing, and please hold your applause until they've all been introduced. First, Dr. Dave Junker from the Stan Richards School and Director of our Senior Fellows Program. Mr. Darrell Rocha, Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Advising. Dr. Mark Bernstein, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education. Dr. Karen Wilkins, Associate Dean for Faculty Advancement and Strategic Initiatives. Dr. Anita Evangelisti, Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Education. Dr. Barry Brummett, Chair of the Department of Communication Studies. Dr. Rahinder Cole, Chair of the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders, Dr. Thomas Schatz, Interim Chair of the Department of Radio, Television, and Film, Dr. Gary Wilcox, Acting Director of the Stan Richards School of Advertising and Public Relations, and Mr. Mike Wilson, Assistant Dean for External Relations. Please join me in giving them a round of applause for all the outstanding work they do for our college. You may be seated. Thank you. In addition to our talented faculty and staff, we're also honored to have with us on our stage today a very special guest. We're very pleased and honored to welcome Scott Cavan, former regent of the University of Texas System. Scott, can you stand up so we can recognize you? Who's here to recognize a very talented RTF graduate, Autumn Elizondo, and her parents and family who are here on this special occasion. So thank you for joining us, Chancellor. Excuse me, Regent. I gave you a promotion. This afternoon, we'll honor and recognize undergraduate and graduate students of the Moody College of Communication for completing their respective programs of study. And as you all know, and as we all know, this really is no small accomplishment. For the graduating students, this accomplishment reflects many years of hard work and determination. For the parents and the loved ones here today, this accomplishment represents decades of caring and counseling, mixed with moments of joy and tears, and maybe even some occasional anxiety or frustration. And that's why it's so important, it's imperative really, at moments like this, that we take stock of where we are and we celebrate the mere fact that all of us are here together to celebrate something very unique and special. Despite all the difficulties, all the challenges, moments of doubts, feelings of anxiety, you all here in front of me made it over the mountain, and you will soon be a graduate of the University of Texas at Austin. And that certainly deserves a big round of applause. To the graduates who are here today, as the years go by, as you reflect back on your time at UT, there are many things that you may forget, but there are many important things that you will certainly remember, always remember. You will remember being a student at a time of great innovation and great transition, as many social, cultural, and technological forces surge and converge toward an uncertain future. You'll remember the friendships and relationships that you formed. Some will prove to be lasting, some fleeting, but you'll always have memories of the special times you spent together inside and outside of the classroom. You'll remember the professors who taught and mentored you, and the projects and research that pushed and challenged you to learn and to grow in new directions. You'll remember the many people who influenced you and shaped you and caused you to think about your place in the world in entirely new ways. You'll remember both the highs and the lows of your shared experiences here on campus, from athletics to arts to culture, and the role of open dialogue and conversations for building and maintaining our shared community. Overall, you'll always remember how special your time was on the 40 acres, and that wherever you are, wherever you go, for the rest of your lives, as sketchy as it might sometimes sound, the eyes of Texas will be upon you. As the Dean of Moody College, I'm particularly proud that you chose to focus your studies in the diverse and critically indispensable areas of communication. It's not an exaggeration to say that communication is the basis of our society and the cornerstone of our humanity. The communication knowledge and skills that you developed in the Moody College of Communication will prepare you well for your career, but will also prepare you well for life. Great communicators are not only the most successful professionals, they are also the happiest people. They know how to listen attentively, express themselves clearly, and treat everyone respectfully. In other words, through your studies and experiences in Moody College, the faculty have provided you with the secret sauce for success and happiness. We charge you to be a clear and caring communicator as a professional and in your life, and you will go far and you will enjoy the journey. And on behalf of the Moody College faculty who helped you get to where you are today, we offer you our heartfelt congratulations, and we, the faculty, give you a round of applause for your accomplishments. We now begin the formal part of our commencement activities by recognizing members of the Moody College Senior Fellows Program who are graduating today. In acknowledgement of their achievement, each will receive medallions with red ribbons when their major department or school is called to the stage. Will the following students please stand and remain standing until all 4 names are called? Noah Thomas Brooks, Kevin Fallis Johnson, Farish Mosley, and Daniela Rosiles. Let's give our senior fellows a well-deserved round of applause. Congratulations. We will now recognize our first group of degree candidates. So whomever is supposed to get people ready. You are welcome to cheer or give a shout out to your graduating students, all of you when their names are called, but we ask that you hold your overall applause until all of the candidates from each degree area have been named, in which case we'll all loudly applaud for them together. So will the degree candidates for the Bachelor's of Science in Communication Science and Disorders please come to the stage? And will Dr. Rahinder Kaul, Chair of the Department of Communication Science and Disorders, please join me at the front of the stage to congratulate the graduates of your program.
With high honors, Isa Hamid. Imiai Miyoshi Osatami Osawata. Rocio Maribel Avila. Kayla Cazares. Danielle Nicole de la Rosa, with honors. Catherine Nicole Eastman. Mary Elizabeth Fager. With high honors, Andrea Fernandez. Samantha Aline Godfrey. With honors, Gabrielle Gomez. Jordan Ashley Guardiola. With honors, Jenna Nicole Hollick. Angie Huang. With honors, Cody Cheyenne Kincaid. Jonna Danielle McMahon. Avadni Megan Padilla. Tinette Tai Fan. Brittany Alexandria Pruitt. Yarly Ramirez. Kadia Salis. Madeline May Wright. With honors, Roxanne Jeanette Zeck.
That completes the list of Bachelor's of Science candidates from the Department of Communication Science and Disorders. Let's give them all a big round of applause. You may have noticed that some of our students are wearing crimson honor cords around their neck. These cords signify that the student may be graduating with overall honors from the university. Now I'm very pleased to introduce to you our next speaker, the President of the Student Communication Council of the Moody College of Communication, Casey Brennan. Casey's a senior in the Communication Studies Department with a focus on human relations. In addition to serving on the Comm Council, he's been a student in the Senior Fellows Program, has been a tour guide for prospective students and parents at the university. He also has participated in the Google Community Leaders Program that's worked to promote digital access and inclusion for lower-income communities. Following graduation, he'll be seeking a recruiting position in the technology and entertainment industries. Please join me in welcoming Comm Council President Casey Brennan.
Welcome family, friends, faculty, and my fellow classmates. Over the past few years, we have encountered many highs and lows. Whether it be the countless number of late nights that led to our Lucky Lab coffee addiction, or the times that we sat there debating whether or not to open the grades tab on Canvas, we have been challenged to think and work harder than we did before. But in the end, a degree from the Moody College of Communication makes every single second of the past few years worth it. By a show of hands, who has used some sort of communication today? Look around. Communication filters into every single facet of our lives. More importantly, communication and human interaction inspires us to learn and grow. As students in the Moody College of Communication, we have been lucky enough to have the wonderful opportunity to do just that. As we move forward into our post-grad lives, we must remember the education that we obtained here at one of the most accredited universities and communication schools specifically in the US. Every single second and experience that we've had here, both inside and outside of class, impacts the way that we interact with others and the way that we view this world. What we have learned in these experiences will allow us to move forward and positively change the world. Think back to your Moody orientation. Whether it be as a freshman student or a transfer student, I ask you to recall how you felt in that moment. For some of us, we felt excited. Others, nervous. Some of us questioned whether we made the right decision to come to UT or not. Now, move forward and think about the experience that you had in the Moody family from then until now. Think about our faculty, the ones who spend every waking moment of their lives putting time and energy into the betterment of our educational experience. The professors, the ones that watched us come into our 8 a.m.s and laughed at the bags under our eyes and the clothes that we've been wearing for 2 days straight. But above all, think about the person behind those projects, papers, and tests. It's you. You were the ones who had the drive to improve your work. You were the ones who were determined to do your best. You were the ones who, over the past few years, with the help of others, got yourself to where you're sitting today. Over the past 20 or so years, we have consistently read other people's books, taken other people's classes, and listened to what other people told us to do. Now, we must take what we have learned from them and be the next generation of world changers. We must move forward to create a story of our own and pave the path for future generations. With that, I'd like to end with a quote from someone who accomplished this many years ago, Albert Einstein. He said, "There comes a point in your life when you need to stop reading other people's books and write your own." Little did we know, Albert Einstein was not just a mad scientist. He was a creative. He was a thinker. He didn't follow what other people told him to do. He discovered new things, and he developed his own story. Promise me, going into your post-grad life, whatever it may be, you do what makes you happy, and you write the story that you want the future generations to remember. This isn't the beginning of the end, nor is it the end of the beginning. It is just the beginning of a new chapter. So, graduating class of 2017, whatever your story may be, put your pens to the paper and start writing. Thank you, congratulations, and hook 'em.
about one more big hand for Casey Brennan, our Comm Council president? I need to digress for just a moment. It's come to my attention that in our introductions at the beginning, I missed a very important introduction. So would our professor and director of our School of Journalism, R.B. Brenner, please stand? I missed you in the intros at the beginning. Big round of applause for R.B. Brenner. Sorry about that. We'll now recognize our degree candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Advertising and the Bachelor of Science in Public Relations. Will the degree candidates please come to the stage, and will Dr. Gary Wilcox, Acting Director of the Sten Richards School of Advertising and Public Relations, please join me at the front of the stage to congratulate the graduates from this program.
Corinne Renee Martinez. April Yun An. With honors, also receiving a Bachelor of Journalism, Madeline McLean Blankenship. With honors, Sarah Elizabeth Bowles. Maria Fernanda Flores Camacho. Victor DiPaolo. Tatiana Elizabeth Ferrer. Melissa Ann Tully. Sarah Kabani. Blade Cameron Labrada. Caitlin Brooke Lee. Charlotte Ann Friend. John Bagsani Mosley. Eric Alexander Nichols. Alexander Thomas Roper. Julie Tai Wynn. Nia Bao Wynn. Catherine Elizabeth Pelche. Johnny Rangel IV. Thomas Matthew Robertson. Matthew Rodriguez. Scott David Sands. Zoe Imber Selman. Johannes Pandidi Situngang. Brenna Ashley Smith. Alexandria Lee Tonsgard. Amy Elizabeth Tolvanen. Dara Lee Welch. Charles Elmo Bass III. Senior Fellow Kevin Fallis Johnson. With honors, Gabrielle Jace Long. Samuel Joseph Hoffman. Celsa Sines. Meva Tran. Yihi Wang. Alicia Katrina Adias. Seong Beck, Ya Lim Beck, Desiree Trace Vanilla, Hannah Burgess, Bailey Alexa Caceres, Sierra Bela Dahl, Juliana Michelle Ems, Nahid Ferdos, Casey Frazier, Lauren Julia Fritz, Jennifer Grace Furlong, Ellie Michelle Glatz, Taylor Marie Hernandez. With highest honors, Jenna Claire Jordan, Erica Lynn Milcafferty, Kelly Lauren McLean. With honors, Amanda Beth Morgan, Joy Alexandria Puder, Ezra Grant Siegel, Alexandra Haley Styron, Madison Claire Weaver. With honors, Brooke Danae Willis, Cassidy Rose Wilson, Dean Bernhardt, this concludes the candidates for advertising and public relations degree recognition.
Congratulations, graduates. Next on our agenda, it's my honor to present the first of our two prestigious awards given to faculty members in our college during the past year. The first award we'll give out is the Ellen A. Wertella Distinguished Research Award. The Wertella Award honors one outstanding research article authored by a member of the Moody College faculty each year and is named for our former dean, Ellen Wertella, an outstanding researcher in her own right. The committee comprised of faculty from across the college selects the winner, the winning article, based on its innovations and contributions to the field. The winner of the 2017 Ellen A. Wertella Distinguished Research Award this year is Dr. Iris Chi for her article, Reality Check, Multi-Platform Newspaper Readership in the United States from 2007 to 2015. Dr. Chi is an associate professor of journalism, and her research focuses on the economics of digital journalism. In her forthcoming book, Trial and Error, U.S. Newspapers' Digital Struggles Toward Inferiority, examines the key issues and challenges that face the newspaper industry. So please join me in congratulating and hearing from Dr. Chi.
It is a great honor to receive the Ellen A. Wertella Research Award from our Moody College. I'd like to thank my co-author, Ori Tenenbaum, for working together on this project tirelessly. You may have heard or even believe that print newspapers are dying. However, through an analysis of multi-platform readership data, we found that the print edition remains the preferred product among newspaper readers of all ages. Our findings received substantial industry attention worldwide, and we suggest newspaper publishers to deliver quality content through preferred platforms. But what is quality content anyway? you think about it, quality content is simply what takes time to produce and consume. So we, as news consumers, have an important role to play at this critical moment. That is, as long as we care about quality when making media decisions, there is definitely a bright future for quality newspapers. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chi. We will now recognize the degree candidates for the Bachelor of Journalism. Will the degree candidates from the School of Journalism please come to the stage? And will the very important Professor R.B. Brenner, Director of the School of Journalism, please join me at the front of the stage to congratulate the graduates from his program.
Alejandra Martinez. Amanda Faith Booth. Nidia Cavazos. Mary Margaret Dolan. With honors, also receiving a BSA in Biology, Eva Charles Anna Frederick. With honors, Alia Ibrahim. Caitlin Carmont. Adam Joseph Kiruz. Belicia Angela Liivano. Kelsey Ann Muhala. With honors, also receiving a BS in Public Relations, Riley Amanda Newhart. Danielle Shanti Ransom. Senior Fellow, also receiving a BS in Communication Studies, Daniela Rosales. Also receiving a BS in Radio, Television, and Film, Marlon Sashido. Also receiving a BSA in Neuroscience, Catherine Ellen Thackeray. Elena Katharina Vieira. Also receiving a BS in Advertising, Rihanna Sue Zuniga. Dean Bernhardt, that concludes the journalism degree candidate recognition.
Congratulations, graduates. Our next agenda item is our recognizing and hearing from our faculty award winner with the recipient of the Teaching Excellence Award. This award is presented annually to a faculty member for being an outstanding teacher and mentor to our students. And one thing that makes this award special is that the nominations are actually received from students themselves who have taken the professor's classes. This year, it's my honor to present this award to Lisa DeBias, Senior Lecturer from the Stan Richards School of Advertising and Public Relations. She can come here while I'm introducing her. Professor DeBias has taught full-time at UT since 1996. She's the founder and director of Texas Media, the department's cross-disciplinary program in advanced media studies designed to provide emphasis in the key insights in areas of media interactivity and investments. Prior to her teaching, Ms. DeBias graduated summa cum laude from UT Austin and worked in the advertising industry in client service and media. This year actually marks the third time she has received this award, having previously won it in 2002 and 2009. And she's won many other teaching awards from the University of Texas, including and outside, including the Austin Advertised Federation, and from the UT system. So please join me in congratulating Professor Tobias, the 2017 winner of Moody College's Teaching Excellence Award.
Wow. This is the first time that I've ever gotten to address you all in this way, and I can't tell you how honored I am to not only win this award, but to be able to share this celebration of you guys today. What an achievement you guys have achieved now or accomplished, and I just want to let you know that I am kind of known for telling stories and sharing analogies, so I'm going to do that very quickly. My students are laughing right now because they know that's true. When we get nominated for an award at UT, we get to put together a packet, a process that I really enjoy because it makes us reflect and verbalize why we're here. I actually love the answer to that question because it's the same question and answer that I had the very first semester I taught, and the reason, quite frankly, is because of you guys. After 2 decades of kind of straddling the line between industry and academia, your passion, your enthusiasm, your curiosity, your willingness to try new things really inspire me. Those things are my fuel, and those are the reasons why I continue to drive into campus and do the work I do with you guys, so thank you for that. The analogy part comes next. As you move forward, I want you to continue that curiosity and that passion and find those fueling points. And so I go back to a time when I flew on an airplane for the very first time, and I was struck and shocked when the flight attendant said, if this little thing falls from the above cabin, put your mask on first, and then help everybody around you. And I thought, well, why would I do that? Why wouldn't I help everybody first? And then, of course, I realized if I pass out, then I can't help anyone, and if I'm unconscious, then everybody has to help me. So my advice to you is put your mask on first and make sure that you're taking care of you. And as Casey said, write your own story. Do your thing the way you do it, and be advocates for yourself. Curate great things. Don't be entitled, but be empowered. And then help everyone else with those masks. Find small ways to lift other people up around you and big ways to make good decisions around the world that you move into. So really, thank you so much. I have nothing to say but congratulations, and thank you for everything that you've shared with me for 2 decades, and good luck. Hook 'em horns.
Congratulations, Professor Tobias. Our next group of degree candidates is from the Department of Communication Studies. Will the degree candidates for the Bachelor's of Science in Communication Studies please come to the stage? And will Dr. Barry Brummett, Chair of the Department of Communication Studies, please join me at the front of the stage to congratulate the graduates of your program.
Marco Estefan Umaya. With highest honors, Brooke Elizabeth Barfield. John Ryan Bonney. Haley Jordan Brent. Anthony Dante Bryant. Trudy Ewenlam Bui. Ariana Cecilia Camara. Shelby Lauren Kennedy. With honors, Taryn Kayla Cordova. Sophie Dangani. Luke Crispin Golston. With honors, Conley Danielle Hamlin. With highest honors, Hannah Bailey Hoke. Taylor James Johnson. Maria Teresa Kroger. Amalia Sofia Leal. With high honors, Vivian Salome Lugo. Dorian Chandler Malloy. Senior Fellow, Farish Elizabeth Mosley. Tristan Lewis Nicholson. Mariam Omadeli. Amy Parek. Anna Hareng Park. With honors, Rachel Elizabeth Riestenberg. Sydney Francis Robertson. Megan Olivia Rue. With honors, Julian Elizabeth Saletta. Stephen Everett Schneider. Caitlin Leanne Sesselberg. Zeta Lee Silva. Sienna Taylor. With high honors, Alexander Nikolaev Titkovsky. With highest honors, Colin Stewart Traver. Jose Jamie Zuniga Jr. Dean Berthart, that concludes the Communication Studies degree candidate recognition.
Congratulations, graduates. Now it's my great honor and privilege to introduce our commencement keynote speaker, Mr. Neil Spels. Neil holds 3 degrees from the University of Texas at Austin in journalism, in speech, and in radio film, all of which have served him well in his career in journalism and broadcasting and advertising and public relations. As a journalist, Neil became known to many for his heroic coverage during the tragedy that transpired 50 years ago on this campus, the UT Tower shooting. As a young reporter for Austin's KTBC TV, Neil reported live on campus during the tragedy itself. His footage and reports aired in local and in national news coverage and helped people across the state and the nation make sense of those horrific events. In the midst of that unthinkable crisis, Neil put into practice the journalistic skills and rigor he learned here at the university and embodied the integrity we seek to instill in our students in Moody College. Over the course of his legendary career, he went on to work in various communication roles and fields, including as a broadcaster, executive and consultant in radio, television, marketing, advertising, and public relations. Neil served the U.S. President, a First Lady, governors, and other leaders of our state and nation. He's won countless awards in recognition for his work and service, including the Silver Anvil, the nation's highest award for PR, the nation's top award for radio and news reporting, and the National Headliners Club's highest award for consistently outstanding TV news coverage. Through service and countless civic and charitable organizations in Central Texas, Neil has made immeasurable contributions to the city of Austin. In honor of this, he was once named Austin's most worthy citizen. Last year, Moody College had the honor of renaming our own broadcast journalism studio and classroom as the Neil Spels Broadcast Studio in honor of his great accomplishments. So please join me in welcoming to the podium a true communication legend and fellow Moody College graduate, Mr. Neil Spels.
Wow, what a joyous occasion. It's just simply thrilling. I like to use that word, to come in here and see the accomplishments that are being laid out here. And I'd like to do something that maybe no other conventional speaker has done, especially with your group here. And that is, I'd like to give you one more test. Uh-oh, I see the folks ready. It's a simple one. I'm going to ask you to raise your hands to relate to a seminar. What this is a personality test. It tells me and tells you and tells those around you what your personality is like as you go out and go into the world. And I'm going to ask everybody here to join in, because you're going to learn something about yourself and you're going to learn something about those around you as well. So all I'm going to do, and it's very simple, I'm going to describe a triangle, a circle, and a big old Zorro Z. And I'm going to ask you to real quickly relate. Which symbol do you relate to? That's it. Then I'm going to tell you about yourself, okay? All of you, everybody. Who relates to the triangle? Raise your hands. Come on, down here. Hands. Get your hands up. Up there. Okay. How about the circle? How many relate to the circle? That's good. Hands. Oh, yeah. There's some more. All right. The big old Zorro Z. Now look around. Look at all those. Now let me tell you what this means. This is fascinating. Those of you who selected the triangle are pretty aggressive. You move ahead. Sometimes you push people out of your way to get what you want and where you're going. Those of you who selected the zero are kind of sort of inclined to self-assessment. You're given to trying to understand before you move out from your circle in that sense. And those of you who selected the big old Zorro Z are preoccupied with booze and sex. I think several of you passed that test in more ways than one. In my short time with you today, I simply want to talk about two things. I want to leave you with two takeaways. That's all. No more than that. First is an approach to something you know a lot about, and that is the inevitability of change, which obviously leads to adaptability. We all talk about the fast pace of change, especially in the field of communication. My gosh, it's unbelievable what's occurred there. But I want to illustrate to you the magnitude of the change that you're getting ready that will affect you, especially each of you in this field, in your lifetime. All you have to do is look at a living, breathing example of what's happened in communications in a current lifetime, mine. Then we're going to multiply that many, many times over for you. Now think about this. As a journalism student at the University of Texas, long before there was a College of Communication, Moody College did not exist at that time, I was fascinated by an emerging form of communication. It was called television. The first television station in Austin went on the air broadcasting in black and white my freshman year at UT. Think about that. Somebody standing up here went through the freshman year and was mesmerized by that set in black and white that carried the Texas A&M football game on Thanksgiving Day on a little picture. A few years later, and this comes back to your college training, my journalism teacher, the late, great Dean DeWitt Reddick, knew of my interest in television, and he called me into his office and said one of his students, who was a part-time reporter at that television station, was leaving. And he said, Neil, if you're interested, I'd like to recommend you for that job. Frankly, I was working, paying my own way through school, and the job sounded fantastic to me. And by the way, that part-time reporter that was leaving was another UT journalism student by the name of Bill Moyers. He went on to national acclaim and is still winning awards for broadcasts on public television. That was 1956, more than 50 years ago, but still within a lifetime. Okay, I guess I should say light years ago, not just years ago. But don't jump to the conclusion now that you're going to be listening to some old-timer talking about the good old days and how everything was so much better back in the day. Au contraire. I mean, it's really different in that sense. Let me tell you just how primitive television was and the practice of broadcast journalism was back then. When my news director got a tip that a Texas state representative accused of bribery was about to take the floor for a speech at the Capitol to address his accusation. And he turned to me and he said, "Neil, grab a camera, run up to the Capitol, cover that speech. It ought to be a gooder." I said, "Yes, sir." Grabbed a camera, shot some film, made notes, came back right away, wrote the story, got it on the air. Just like today, right? Not at all. Think about this. The camera at that time was a black and white Polaroid still camera. It didn't take moving pictures. It took black and white still pictures. We took them out, we placed them in sequence, one after the other, on a curved board that the TV station actually built. And the camera, the old studio camera, stood right there, and as the announcer read the words I wrote, panned from one picture to the next. That was video for the story that we were reporting that day. Big story. Hey, state representative accused of bribery, big story. But that's the way it was covered by television back at that time. Now, let's go forward 10 years. August 1st, 1966. A University of Texas student. He was an engineering student. His name was Charles Whitman. He climbed up to the top of the tower, and he committed the worst mass murder in United States history at that time. Right here. Right here. Well, as a report, I rushed out to the scene and began a 90-minute live broadcast within range of the sniper's fire. And let me tell you something, folks. This campus that you walk across every day, can you visualize the sounds and what was happening at that time? There were gunshots going everywhere. Sirens were screaming up back and forth. You had people screaming back and forth. Help that person. He's hurt. He's hit. Go out there. He's down. Duck. Get out of the way. This is happening on the South Mall. Well, right there where you've walked almost every day of your career here. It was hot. Noonday sun, August 1st, 100 and some odd degrees, baking the pavement on the South Mall. Now, dead bodies, wounded bodies, were lying out in the open there where they'd been hit by the gunfire, even over on the drag. What we had was considered advanced technology to report that story back then. But get this. Now listen, this is my lifetime. There was no live television capability. We only had 16 millimeter black and white film. No color. My broadcast was on the radio, listened to by students and faculty and staff who carried transistor radios, just as you carry your cell phones today. Now, at some point during the ordeal, my radio narration, unknown to me at the time, was laid over a live picture of the top of the tower. The UT student studio, where they were learning television at that time, big old clunky camera, they wheeled it to an open door, pointed it up at the top of the tower, and they had a picture from the clock to the top. And it was a static picture. So they took my radio broadcast and laid it over that. That was live television at that point. Primitive? Oh yeah. There were no satellite dishes. There was no videotape. There were no cell phones. Computers, what's that? Engineering students who just left here before you came in used slide rules for their calculations. Cable television, it was a dream at that point. Now, this is my lifetime. This is not that long ago. There was no EMS. The local funeral homes sent ambulances and hearses out to the campus to pick up the dead and wounded to rush to the only hospital here who had an emergency room. An ambulance attendant, in fact, was shot. SWAT teams were invented because Austin's response was inadequate. Turns out no police stations in the nation had the weapons or the training to return fire accurately from the ground up to the observation deck on the tower. Ordinary citizens heard my broadcast and rushed to the campus with their deer rifles that had scope sights on them, and they shot back at the sniper. So out there, primarily around the South Mall, you had a gun battle out in the open, back and forth. And frankly, that helped because it pinned the sniper down. In the last 45 minutes or so of his rampage up there before he was killed, he was very ineffective because they had him pinned down. This communications, the story went out nationwide via telephone landlines. No satellites, remember, no broadcast. And that evening at 5:30 p.m. Austin time, the very first film that was shot that day, 5:30 p.m. it occurred at noon, was fed simultaneously on CBS, NBC, and ABC. 6 hours after the shooting started. And all this happened right there where you have walked every day. Okay, now think about that. That was communications within our lifetime. Fast forward to today. Gosh, look at the change in communications right now. All manner of events are carried instantaneously worldwide. You have a variety of ways to communicate individually, especially through social media. Our traditional institutions of communication, they're being transformed right now before your very eyes. Even Dan Rather, a good friend of the Moody College, is no longer a national icon of national television, now marvels that he has 2.5 million followers on his Facebook page. He's 86 years old. So I don't want to belabor this point because this is what you study every day and you're living it every day. But this look back is only to give you a living, breathing example of the massive communications changes that have occurred during one person's lifetime standing before you today. And since developments are occurring at a quantum leap these days, your lifetime is going to see even more dramatic changes in your field than taking a Polaroid black and white picture and putting it out as a television broadcast. As the fellow says, hang on, you ain't seen nothing yet. But what will not change, and this is important, are the basics. I mean, the real basics of successful communications. The bedrocks that apply to print and web journalism, radio and television, advertising, public relations, speech communications, personal, written, and spoken words of communication. The bedrocks are universal. You know them. Integrity, knowledge, accuracy, clarity, and the greatest communications currency you will ever have. And don't ever forget this. That communications currency that you will have, that you better not ever lose, is believability. I got to tell you one little story that is kind of, and you'll get a kick out of it. It's kind of fascinating in a sense about believability. And years ago, the Prime Minister of South Africa was shot and killed. Occurred about high noon Austin time. And his name, if you saw it in print, you couldn't pronounce it. It was Hendrik Verwoerd. The B's are pronounced like an F and a W like a B and all that. There was an O-E all over it. So the bulletin cleared right at noon. We had an announcer sitting in the studio at noon getting ready to do his noon newscast. Now this, he was really good looking. and he had a real deep voice. His hair was just right. As I said about me, thank goodness, Spells, you started in television before you had to be good looking to be on the air. Well, he was sitting there, and we walked in. I ripped the bulletin off the wire, Associated Press, ran in, and just as the hand was up in the air for the floor director to say, stand by, I heard that word stand by as I walked in, which meant, a couple of seconds away, and I put this piece of paper in front of him, the bulletin, and he went, you're on the air. So he cleared his throat. Good afternoon. We have breaking news. The Prime Minister of South Africa was assassinated today. We're withholding his name pending notification of next of kin. Happened. Some of the obvious stumbling blocks to the bedrocks of successful communications. And, a news story that distorts, is one-sided, is wrong or in error, an advertisement or public relations claim that might stretch the truth just a little bit, misleading or incomplete communications of any sort. I may be old-fashioned, but hell, I even worry about photoshopping pictures that make them seem like something they're not. A touched-up landscape, oh yeah, blue sky, greener grass, seems innocuous, but it's misleading, and believe me, you carry that to the extreme and change the content through Photoshop, that can be malicious or even libelous. So when you boil it all down, communication, this is important where I'm headed to with this message, this is the second part. Communication is about making a connection. And that connection is the key to effective communications. Now start with this simple fact that you understand, but you may not focus on it as much as you should. In order to communicate successfully, you have to have a recipient of that communication. Normal, and in practically all cases though, that message is more effective if it speaks directly to one person. But now, it sounds pretty easy, but in this day and age of social media, when you have selfies, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all tend to look at me, here I am. That's basically the message. Here I am, I'm graduating today. See the picture here? See my cap and gown? See the picture on top of the gown, the cap? That's all well and good. That's fine. That's on a personal level. But when you need to break away from these pervasive personal habits, when you focus on your professional communications activities. Now, come on, Spence, wait a minute. Mass communications is obviously communications directed to the masses. So, that's true. But here's the key. The mass is made up of individuals reacting in their own individual way. One person is receiving the communication. Now, this is really critical. It's nothing new. Boy, this is something that happened 90 years ago that you ought to look at today. Kip Kiplinger started a weekly newsletter in Washington more than 90 years ago. Nationwide subscribers. It's still very successful almost a century later, transitioned mostly to the internet. But Kip did a very simple thing to connect to his many subscribers. Back then, he pulled out a name of one of the hundreds of thousands of subscribers, put it on the front of his typewriter, and as he wrote, he was mentally writing to that one individual, even though several 100,000 people were reading those words. And as he wrote, he did that, and it's amazing. You try it. It's amazing what it does for your choice of words and your approach to the subject matter. It's an old maxim that's even more true today as communication tools expand. I mean, it's not just about writing, though. Think about speaking. For instance, don't confuse a great performance with effective communications. How often have you heard, wow, he was really a great speaker? But damned if I know what he was talking about. Or it really didn't apply to me. Reading perfectly from a teleprompter. Okay, here it is. The speaker's looking straight, the audience is here, and he's got a teleprompter over here, he's got a teleprompter over there, and he's looking into this teleprompter, and he's telling you exactly as he's reading the words just right, pausing perfectly for emphasis. Then he turns and he looks over here and reads off that teleprompter, and it's just fantastic. The words are well written, they're great. But let me tell you something. While that was impressive as he was lowering his voice for impact, etc., but he wasn't engaging. He was not engaging the person, not connecting with the person that he was trying to communicate with, which was the individual sitting right out here in front. He's looking at the teleprompter. Now, you know, on the teleprompter, you can see, oh, look, he's looking right into the camera. Oh, isn't that great? And he's looking over here, he's looking over there, but he's not engaging in this sense. He's not making eye contact, he's not connecting, and therefore he's less effective when trying to reach the individual recipient of that communication. I'll give you another example. Right here in this wonderful Irwin Center. A spectacular performance, sound, light, music, pyrotechnics, you name it. You're on your feet. You're applauding, you're maybe dancing, you're getting your money's worth. But how much of a connection do you feel with the performer if just before the big finish she stops, walks to the end of the stage, sits down, the house lights come up, she can see you, the audience, and she looks at you and says, I can't tell you how much I personally appreciate you being here tonight for this concert. It means the world to me for you to come in, come out, and enjoy what I have to present in my own humble way. And I really do want to thank you for being with me here tonight. And let's share this wonderful experience of good music together. Wow, now think about that. Think about how that engages one-to-one. She's not talking to this big crowd that was up here just moments ago, stomping their feet, applauding and screaming. And contrast that with the star who simply shouts, "Thank you, Austin!" and hope he got the city right when he says that. You're not Austin. You're you. He wasn't speaking to you. He was speaking to a million people out there in Austin, Texas. It's all about, boil it down, all about one-to-one communication. You know when your favorite host on morning television looks at you and says, "Thank you and good morning, everyone." Or the knowledgeable sports announcer looks out, "Hello, everybody." They're not talking to you. You're not everybody. You're not everyone. You are you. And you're the recipient of that communication in that sense. These supposed masters of communication are really missing the point, the basic fundamental of successful, powerful, convincing, results-oriented communication. They're talking to you, not talking to you one-to-one, and they're not connecting with you. You're just someone who's out there that's watching them do their thing rather than communicating to you. Now, it holds true whether it's spoken or written. If you want to be successful in advertising, your pitch is speaking to one recipient. You're making an ad that is read by a lot of people or seen by a lot of people, heard by a lot of people, but they're hearing it, they're reading it, they're seeing it in their one head. You need to speak to that one person. You're not saying, all you people will really enjoy this. No, you're saying you will enjoy this, or you will benefit by using this product. So your pitch needs to be directed to the individual, your ads, the brochures. Everything is read by one person at a time. You're not sitting there as a group. You, especially well-educated that you are certainly not part of the herd. And you're certainly not part of groupthink. You think for yourself, you listen for yourself, you make up your own mind. A mass mail on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram is much more effective when you realize it's being received by that one person. For instance, you sit there with an email, you finished a project, whatever it is, and you're sending it to half a dozen people or 50 people or whatever, and you just finished something that was a very big success, and you're writing a thank you email. Oh, great, okay. And you say, I want to thank all of you who've really contributed to this successful fundraiser. No. I want to thank you, even though it's being sent to hundreds of people, or 50 or 2 or 3, but I want to thank you for what you did. Your communication may be read by many, but it's personal, it's intimate, it becomes more meaningful to the recipient. Well, I've belabored that. I know you don't want to hear me talk anymore. The rest of you want to get that piece of paper that the others were luckier that they got up here ahead of you to get. I want to tell you, though, something that's really important about that paper. It's a very valuable document. You're graduating from one of the best, without question, one of the best universities in the world. And not only that, you have received the best communications education possible in whatever field you have chosen. The Moody College is always moving to get ahead of that communications curve. Just talk to your professors, you know, administration, staff, the dean, and they're always thinking, what's next? What's coming next? How do we make that important and understandable and to be appreciated by our students? Now, in that context, I want to close with a little story. about a young man in the Deep South who was raised in the midst of poverty. In fact, his entire community was almost African American. No education, nothing going on there. Deep South. Now, again, this was about 80 years ago. But yet, he raised himself up, worked hard, did not have a college education, but he became known as one of the most recognizable voices of all time. James Earl Jones. You'll recognize his voice as Darth Vader. When you take in the new Star Wars, look at the old Star Wars movies, Darth Vader had that deep, resonant voice. And it was recognized everywhere. And it has been used over and over in any number of movies or commercials or whatever. But did you know that James Earl Jones stutters? This guy who made a career out of his voice and his speaking. We worked with him personally on almost 200 different television vignettes. They were called An American Moment with James Earl Jones, where he talked to you one-on-one on video about what was going on in out-of-the-way places in America. And it was a very successful program. To this day, though, it is still difficult for James Earl Jones to speak without stuttering. Just think what it would have meant to this great man with a God-given voice if he had had the benefit of the research and study at the Moody College. Research that will come about as a result of the recent announcement that Moody College, with the help of a very generous donation, is going to enhance the college's reputation as a national leader by expanding work on this very common speech affliction. That to me is amazing when you realize and known James Earl and what a great man he is and how he still struggles because he stutters, and yet his entire career is based on his voice. Every day he overcomes something. But with Moody College's work and expanding the knowledge of stuttering that will happen as a result of this grant that was just received here, other James Earl Joneses will have a much easier role and maybe even soar to greater heights. Okay, enough of the examples. I promised 2 takeaways. Summarize. 1 takeaway at the very beginning was to adapt, even anticipate change that is incomprehensible today, but let me guarantee you it's inevitable. And the other is the very simple truth of one-on-one communication. Very simple, but it's so basic to what we're doing. Remember, the recipient of your message, no matter the form, is almost always received by one person and reacted to by that one person. Communicate with that one person, and whatever message you're trying to convey will be the most effective. Oh, I almost forgot. You remember that great video featuring Moody College's distinguished journalism alum, Walter Cronkite? If you saw the video, it was a nighttime scene taken by a drone from south of the tower, moving up toward the university tower. It was getting closer. Walter, in his wonderful voice that I can't replicate, he says, "Get your bachelor's degree. You're getting closer. You're getting closer to the tower. Get your master's. Getting closer to the tower. Get your PhD. But most of all, get your horns up." And it's still a classic. And then the words that frankly have been overlooked because everybody does what you just did. They cheer, they react. But then he says, what happens here, and I'm going to insert, with you, changes the world. God, what a great thing. Oh, welcome.
Thank you so much, Neil. You honor us with your words and with your example. Let's have another round of applause, please, for our speaker. I also want to just make it clear to the families in the audience, it wasn't your child raising her hand or his hand when the Z was up before. Thank you so much again for those wonderful words. Certainly we're to the last but not least degree candidates who will come to the stage for the Bachelors of Science in Radio, Television, Film, followed by the doctoral candidates from the graduate school. Will Dr. Tom Schatz, Interim Chair of Department of Radio, Television, Film, please join me in the front of the stage and congratulate the graduates from this program.
Miguel Emilio Valerino Salazar. Also receiving a BS in Communication Studies, Leonardo Andreas Aguilar. Regan Amira Alsay. Axel Humberto Alarcon. Austin Michael Anan. Nicole Andelia Arias. With honors, Matthew Blaine Brezina. With honors, Poppy Victoria Briggs. With honors and a senior fellow, Noah Thomas Brooks. Bobby Jean Carr. With honors, Tess Marie Klein. John Reed Copeland. Autumn Elise Elizondo. With honors, Kathy Garcia. With honors, Mauricia Isabella Gutierrez. Michael Herrera. Everett Brewington Houston III. Topazia Alenish Hunter. Tyler Young James. Daniel Patrick Johnson. Stephen John Patrick Johnson. Madeline Victoria Klein. Jocelyn Nicole Mans. Tino Josiah Martinez. Emily Rose Matheson. With honors, Mackenzie Shannon McMahon. Ryan Matthew Medeiros. John Tanner Monroe. Laura Sofia Morales. Also receiving a BS in Advertising, Zachary Scott Morrison. With honors, Molly Much. Trent Burnett Rivers. With honors, Christian Allen Rusli. Farzan Amir Sawani. Adrian Edward Siodoria. Kelly Christine Smith. Stephanie Nicole Smith. Catherine Rochelle Ryan Stone. Rhiannon Rose Sullivan. Christopher Matthew Taylor. Trung Tien Tran. With high honors, Victoria Alejandra Vargas. Nicholas Pete Vasquez. With high honors, Ryan Jacob Wade. With honors, Shira Shalom Yorman. Dean Bernhardt, that concludes the radio, television, film, and graduate school degree recognition. Graduate school too? No. Okay. Just the other ones.
Congratulations to our RTF grads. Let's give them a big round of applause. And now we'll welcome our graduate students.
Doctor in Philosophy and Communication Sciences and Disorders, Pak Win Lam. Master of Fine Arts in Radio, Television, and Film, Lizette Barrera. Master of Fine Arts in Radio, Television, and Film, Daniel Ernie. Master of Arts in Radio, Television, Film, Hector Enrique Gonzalez. MFA in Radio, Television, and Film, Hyun Bing La. Master of Fine Arts in Radio, Television, and Film, Ching Wang.
But a big round of applause for all our graduate student graduates as well. I wish to take a moment to give very special thanks to Ms. Rebecca McEnroy from KUT 90.5 FM, who assisted us today with the student recognition portion of our program. And also, we should congratulate her for completing her MA in RTF this semester as well. Congratulations, Rebecca. To our graduating students who are here today, congratulations to all of you on a job very well done. We are proud of you and what you have accomplished here at UT. In recognition of your success and to support you in the future, you are now part of one of the largest and most powerful alumni networks in the world, the Texas Exes. I encourage all of you to join and get involved with your local Texas Exes chapter, wherever you may live. Before we conclude our program today, there's one very important group that we haven't yet thanked. So I now invite all of our graduating students to please stand, turn around, and applaud your parents, significant others, family members, and friends who have supported you during your time here as a student. Thank you so much, and please remain standing. And would everyone else please rise? At the conclusion of our program, the graduates will exit the building through the west entrance to Red River in the middle here, and we will now conclude our commencement ceremony with the traditional singing of the Eyes of Texas. Would everyone please rise and get your horns up? This convocation is now concluded. Congratulations, graduates, and hook 'em horns.